spent in a miserable way.
Late-night comics follow Trump and apos. State of the Union speech, live in exasperated Chicag. The big question, as speech moved toward epic length Tuesday night, was whether the late-night shows that chose to go live to mark the event would end up being early morning shows instead. The evening went on and on, said this was not a particularly good speech, but what it lacked in quality it made up in length, he also said. This speech was like on Comedy Central's The Daily Show showed the familiar tableau of the president with the Speaker of the House behind him, but in the clip he chose she was looking at a large paper. Got bored and just started looking through the menu halfway through, Noah said. I kept expecting, the length, said Colbert, was kind of the Republicans' fault. They were giving him both NBC shows were live or live-ish, too. On late night, Trump gave his speech in front of the most diverse Congress ever, Fallon said. It was so diverse. Up on the dais, he added, Pelosi and Vice President Mike look like two siblings watching 50 Shades of Grey together. Doing good old-fashioned live television once in a while is a Trump-era innovation begun by Colbert, who has credited live shows with helping him find his sea legs as late show host. The fact that the president was interrupted 105 times by applause and once by Robert Mueller, said Myers. Everybody who was anybody who was not indicted was there, Colbert said. Are you saying the investigations are hurting the economy? Myers responded, all the comics took note of the evening's starkest, most effective visual, the female Democratic lawmakers who all wore white in honor of women's suffrage and who presented an overwhelming contrast with the other side of the room. So the Democratic side was a sea of white and the Republican side was also a sea of white, said Colbert. For the latter, the governor of Virginia was like, oh, sure, when they do it, it's okay, said Fallon, referencing Ralph Northam's troubles over a Ku Klux Klan costume photo discovered on his med school yearbook page. I noticed the guys all got together, too, and decided to wear navy suits, joked Norah O'Donnell, the CBS This Morning host who, with her co-hosts, filled Colbert's first guest spot. Fallon indulged in, two of the hosts noticed Trump's tie was crooked. Mike Pence was like, this is the way ties should be from now on, said Noah. Trump is so unpopular even his tie has moved to the left, said Myers. But overall Myers' offering was strangely static. His later night Noah, by contrast, was on the air 97 minutes sooner, at 10 p.m. Central Time or just 40 minutes after Trump finished talking, and managed to deliver a monologue that was rich with that night's videotape. His staff even, look at that, Noah said, as Melania Trump was introduced, an immigrant got the first standing ovation of the night. Twice, he and Colbert did versions of the same joke, but Noah was on air first so bragging rights. They noticed Trump talked about the economy being hot in a strangely personal way. Said Noah in Colbert's slightly more sly version, it is so hot, if it wasn't my economy perhaps I'd be dating it. And again, both shows noticed Trump seemed to threaten Congress over the possibility of more investigations and did almost exactly the same joke. Nice country you got here, Colbert said in mob guy voice. Shame if something, a few other strong lines of the evening. Noah on the president's teleprompter, he read really well. I don't know if, Myers on the USA chants in the House chambers, said Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, I was told there would be no spelling. Colbert on the moment when Trump told the Democratic Congresswomen they were standing too soon. Trump trying to tell women what to do is why they won. Twitter at Stephen Johnson.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.